time. Intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? Welcome back to the Third Party Podcast. We got my boy in the studio, Cody.
Hello.
And we got Matt joining us. You know him as Snipe Dog. He's participating via Discord. Slim was unavailable today. Matt volunteered to step in. Really appreciate having you, man.
No problem at all.
Glad
Anytime.
Anytime, every time, except every time. So
Except for all those other times.
So
For all those other times, I had shit going on.
exactly. So we got a lot of stories to get into today. First and foremost, we've got the fact that a pretty famous writer who was tasked with doing the writing for the Star Wars New Jedi Order movie has exited the project. It sounds like the project's still on, but they're looking for a new writer right now. And we're going to be talking about that. Also, the Blade movie starring Marshall Ali is put on an indefinite hold. Its scheduled release has already been filled by another project. Halo composer has decided that if Elon Musk would create a gaming studio in the industry, he would consider coming out of retirement to be a participant in that. And if we have time, we'll cover the review of Black Ops 6 and let you guys know what we're thinking on it. Before we get into all of those stories, let's just check in with the guys. Cody, what have you been up to this week as far as like your nerdiness? How have you been exploring your nerd life?
My nerdiness?
Your nerdness.
Well, I have started
Tell me about
playing the Arkham games because I've never finished Arkham Knight.
Seriously?
Yeah, for realsies. First two were
Right there
great.
with you.
Yeah, and the Batmobile and Knight really turned me off of it, so I just never finished it.
The Batmobile? Like what do you mean?
It was the first time they introduced the Batmobile as gameplay, and it's kind of just...
So you steer it and drive a mission, like you do a mission in the car or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of missions in the fucking Batmobile.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's a great game, so I figured might as well fucking finish it.
What was the so the Arkham series was successful is my understanding. I didn't play any of the Arkham games. So
yes, it is very well beloved by the community.
And then Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League was kind of the death nail of that entire run of games.
Yeah, Rocksteady's kind of done after that. After that debacle.
Okay, so that's what you've been doing all week on that stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Played a little bit of WoW for the first time.
Oh, yeah. So you've never played it?
Never played it. Well, maybe when, like, I don't know, 2008, when I was, yeah.
Matt, did you ever play World of Warcraft?
Never.
Me neither. Like, it was a game that's, like, it's beloved. Like, you cannot make any argument against that game's success, the longevity, the run, the loyalty of that fan base. I mean, it got a movie, for crying out loud.
Two? One. Never mind.
Did it get... Yeah, it's... Now you got me thinking. Maybe it is two. Maybe
I was thinking Dungeons and Dragons too.
Dungeons and Dragons has a bunch of movies. Yeah. That's what throws me off. It's like these like mediocre projects like fall to the wayside and get forgotten to history, and then you have like one blockbuster that makes $100 million, still loses $200 million in money, but in monies.
Well, I only played a couple hours of it, and it's whatever to me. It's a whatever meh.
Just meh.
Game. Yeah.
I kind of figured
most MMOs.
Yeah,
True.
But I kind of figured with your like you love like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I kind of figured aren't they kind of similar?
Not really. The Old Republic is more story. Like you could go through the whole thing solo and just play the story and whatnot.
Okay.
It's more of an RPG where WoW is more of an MMO where it's just like, here's a quest, some text, go kill some things, collect these things.
So
whatever.
So for my
Make
week,
sure you come back to me.
Right.
So for my week, I've been looking forward to like keeping up with my new shows. I'm still in love with ReZero. New released episodes every Wednesday. Fucking love that show so much.
I was watching Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh yeah.
Actually, not bad.
Yeah. Matt, do you know about that project? Do you like? I don't know how much anime
Daima?
you watch. Yeah, I don't know how much.
I watch a decent amount of anime, but I find it hard to split my time up between movies and shows when I play games. You know, that's what I do.
Okay. So Dragon Ball Daima is basically a continuation of the story of the Dragon Ball Z story post Majin Buu's story. Is that right, Cody? You like it starts by summarizing the entirety of the story so far.
In between, like after Buu, before Super.
Okay. And so Yeah, I don't know anything about the story except what I'm seeing in shorts, but I'm hearing positive things about it. So it's
Yeah, I mean, it's only 3 episodes in, 23 minutes apiece, so there's not a whole lot of content there, but
right.
visually it's really good, and I kind of went down this rabbit hole of like learning the backstory of it. It's the last project that Akira Toriyama was in, and he was heavily involved in it. And then they have like 3 major animators or like artists that are in charge of the episodes. So they're all done very well. There's no like Dragon Ball Super where it's like a fucking 9-year-old drew some shit.
Yeah, right.
It's very well animated. It looks really good.
I cannot stand Dragon Ball Super. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Benjamin. He's been a new subscriber. He's been hanging out in all of our streams for the last couple of days. Really appreciate you hanging in with us, buddy. We see you in the chat. If you have any questions about the topics, feel free to shout them out. But glad to have you here, buddy. Okay, so Dragon Ball Z Daima, it's definitely
got potential.
It's got potential. It's got, in my mind, way more potential than Super. Like, I'm so over Super. I think they have more stories to come out, but each new story they come out with Super in the manga is less and less interesting. I think the Tournament of Power is more dramatic than anything they have in the manga.
Yeah, I'd say Super was better the further it went along, but there was a lot of fumbles and flops in the creating of that show.
Right.
Because they started like you're supposed to have like a buffer between like how many episodes you have to put out and then catching up to the series.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like no buffer whatsoever. So they're just like, that's why the animation's pretty shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 2 arcs are just retelling the movies that came out earlier.
Yeah.
It's like just with way more filler.
The movies are a bane for me. I don't like the movies at all. Like, especially the Dragon Ball Super movies. They're just like a retelling, like, movie version of like a summary of 4 episodes from the Super show.
Well, you got it the other way around. Super was just retelling the movies. The movies came out first.
Right. Matt, what have you been up to this week? What has your nerdy experience been like this week of October 2024 of our Lord?
I mean, I've really just been playing games, like I said. There's been a couple of them that were on my radar that came out. One of which is Windblown. I don't know if Tyler told you anything about that, but
no.
Quick place.
I saw him playing it.
RPG, roguelite. It's made by the developers of Dead Cells.
Okay.
Dead Cells was like renowned for just how well it played, just the content that was released with it, and then this one is 3-player co-op. So any roguelike that's co-op, you're speaking my language.
It's still like a side scroller then?
No.
Oh.
It's more like linear paths and whatnot, but it's just really quick paced and you can get some progress in quickly.
I really enjoyed when you two introduced me to Hellcard. That was so fun. I actually started doing my own solo dungeon crawls, and I hate doing it solo, but I had a lot of fun playing with you and Tyler, even though I think you guys had to quote unquote put up with me for how slow and bad I was doing. Yeah.
I mean, you could be an expert, and if you play any roguelite, you have to read so much information before you understand even 10% of what's happening. I quit Yu-Gi-Oh because Yu-Gi-Oh made me read. Now I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, so I don't know. Hellcard might not be the game for me. But no, I don't read anymore. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I saw Tyler in Discord playing that game. He wasn't screen sharing or anything. I just noticed it, when it pulls up a person that you're looking at, and it tells you what they're doing or gaming right now. So that was my introduction to that. Was very short-lived. Other than that, we got the BlackOps 6, but sounds like we'll be talking about that later. Yeah, we'll be getting into, if we have time, we'll definitely cover a basic review of Black Ops 6. I definitely have a lot to say on it, and Matt actually was playing it for like hours before I jumped in, and apparently Quincy is already like a god. He's already like level 38 or something by the time I'm starting the game, and I had it downloaded a day early too. Like, yeah, Quincy was on it already.
You missed out on that 18 hours,
Yeah,
you should have just skipped work.
He's an FPS lord.
I should have skipped work and just played that all day. I would have. The thing is like I have a very specific goal in mind with Call of Duty. It's to figure out how to be the fastest and the most knifey. Like, I just want to knife people, but most of these maps are far more open than I remember them being, and the time to kill is really short, like really short. I mean, and in Modern Warfare, like OG Modern Warfare, even when you had Commando, like you could still die pretty quickly with a knife, but Modern Warfare reboot in 2019, even in hardcore, knifing was still possible. Like you could still get to people. You can't in this game. I think it's probably doable. Maybe I'm just my character's too loud. Like
You just suck.
well, my audio is obviously adjusted because of the stream and stuff, so I turned down the game so that I can make sure the stream isn't blown out. But yeah, you and Quincy both kept saying, Matt, that it was probably because they kept hearing me, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? I can't hear me. Why are they able to hear me? Oh, my volume's turned out. Duh. So
paid for that premium audio.
I do gotta pay for that premium audio. No, so for my week, like I said, I was just falling in love with the weekly release schedule that I'm on. So I finished The Legend of Vox Machina Season 3, and Season 3 ends with like the group almost disbanding, but then they leave a huge cliffhanger where you know there's going to be a Season 4. So they're going to spend the first 4 episodes of the new season getting the band back together. And I don't know if I'm up for that, but it's still really good. I love The Legend of Vox Machina. I think the way they do the characters is so good. I think the character growth they have through the seasons is huge, and it's just a fun show. I mean, you summarized it best, Cody, by saying it was basically Guardians of the Galaxy as a cartoon.
Yeah, with medieval wear.
With medieval wear, and I didn't see that as being a detriment at all.
No,
I saw this being great.
I watched season 1 and it was out.
ReZero is hitting harder than I think it ever has. I loved season 1. Season 2 was a good carry, but season 3, 1 hour premiere in season 3. Holy crap, that show is just hitting so damn hard right now. And I love
Yeah, you won't leave me alone about it.
I think everyone should watch ReZero. I was actually talking to Morgan the other day, Matt, and he apparently is like just getting started in ReZero, so that was cool. That was cool to see. I actually nerded out a little bit when I was talking to him in the Discord, so that was pretty fun. I was like, have you seen this yet? Have you seen this yet? He's like, I'm only on episode 6. I was like, oh. I was like, I gotta talk to you about this, that, and the other. He's like, don't spoil it. I was like, damn it, I can't.
Yeah, he watches way more anime than I do.
Well, it seems like anime is one of the mediums where the best storytelling is happening. I mean,
absolutely. I 100% agree.
I don't like the argument, and I would take up this argument with anybody if they wanted to have the conversation about it. People who are like, I don't like anime because it's like cartoons for adults, and I'm just like what the fuck? It's like what? That is such a stupid argument. Is the story good? Is like the medium by which the story is being told your favorite? Maybe not, but that's not like
so stupid.
It's such a stupid.
That's like saying
nothing argument.
To some like famous artist, oh, what, you still drawing? That's for kids.
Exactly.
Stupid.
It's fucking dumb.
You coloring in your little book there?
Oh, it's like you're watching sports. Oh, are you just reminiscing about a time when you were actually relevant in life and cool? You peaked back in high school. You watch baseball because you want to suck all their dicks. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, no. It's like I think your analogy is like the best. It's like you talk to an artist and you call him a child because he's drawing. It's
I don't like books because all their words.
I think books are evil because they steal thoughts from the human mind and put them on paper, so then you can't think.
That was a thing back in the day. There was a reading crazy in the youth. It's like how like our generations are obsessed with like TV or whatever,
or TikTok. These
kids read too much.
I think I would get addicted to TikTok, which is why I mean, I don't have like an adversarial position on TikTok anymore. I'm kind of neutral on it now. I mean, the TikTok ban thing, I had a lot of mixed feelings about the TikTok ban thing, but it was at the end of the day, I was pretty agnostic on the whole issue. But right now, the main reason I'm not downloading TikTok is because I contend with YouTube Shorts and lose hours to YouTube Shorts. And I'm just like, I think I have a problem. If I was on TikTok, I don't think I'd be a productive member of society anymore. I mean, to the degree that I am.
It's not that high of a bar.
Right. All right, guys. I think it's time to jump into our first story. So I'm going to move us over there. The first story we're going to be talking about is the writer. What is his name?
Stephen Knight.
Stephen Knight is left the Disney Star Wars project, the New Jedi Order. And they've been talking about New Jedi Order for a long time. They've been talking about this movie for years. I mean,
it's been like a year since they were like, we're gonna do another Rey movie.
No, they've been talking about doing another Rey movie since like 2022, 2021. Like, it basically was going to be a pickup off of the Rise of Skywalker. Because, I mean, as soon as the Rise of Skywalker happened, they lost all their money, and they were like, let's do that again. So they were waiting. I mean, Daisy Ridley never went anywhere. It's not like she was never going to be in the next Star Wars project. There was not a gap in time where that was in question.
There was a time after Rise of Skywalker where they announced several projects. You had Taika Waititi writing the movies. You had Ryan Johnson with his trilogy. You had the D&D guys.
Yep.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dan and Deb.
Yeah.
DB Weiss.
This one was more of a recent announcement, and it's like, oh, we're gonna make another Rey movie, and the whole Star Wars community was like, why?
We were so over it. TV shows.
And then they hired a feminist documentarian for women's rights in the Middle East to direct it.
Which one? I remember that story. That was was that last year that we were talking about that? Because that came.
Yeah, because that's Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy.
That's her. Okay, yeah. I was like, why am I not remembering her relevance to this story? And I was like, that's why.
Disney didn't even announce it as her being the director. She went on CNN.
Oh, so she did like an interview, like a sit down.
Forced them to like, we're staying on this project.
Oh yeah, well, CNN is like, yeah, CNN's pull over Disney is a little unhealthy now, just a little bit, just a wee little bit. But ultimately, so Matt, what is your take on like the Star Wars projects that have been coming out? I guess I never really chat with you about like the Star Wars stuff that's going out.
Not a Star Wars fan.
Has that always been the case, or is it just more modern, like Disney Star Wars, or did you not like the original stuff?
It is related to personal interactions I had with someone that I considered a close friend who loved Star Wars. So now when I think about Star Wars, I think about kicking his chest in.
Okay.
I don't feel like
the way that story was starting, I was wondering if we were gonna have the setting be moved into a closet at a family event or something. I was getting a little nervous for how that story was unraveling, but it sounds like okay. So you never really had you just don't have a general fondness for the franchise at all anymore.
No, not anymore. Just because I closely associate Star Wars with that dickhead. So
damn. Name drop. No, yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No,
First name Dick, last name Head.
Dick Head. Dickhead the Third.
But no, I mean, I liked Star Wars in general. I've always thought Star Trek was like more believable for like obvious reasons, but
I think depending on the project you're talking about, absolutely. I think the original shows, I haven't watched the original shows. I've seen the movies with Chris Pine.
You're gonna get the Star Trek community pissed.
Well, I mean, to the extent that they're relevant. No, I'm just kidding. The Star Trek has never been an impressive show to me. Like, I understand why the fandom is loyal to it. You've got series after series after series. The show never freaking stopped, so I understand its popularity and totally accept that. I just don't think it's good.
Yeah, I never got it.
I was merely speaking about the world. You know, in 400 years, I can see us being on a Star Trek path, whereas we would never actually be on a Star Wars path.
That's right, because it was a long time ago.
Star Trek could actually happen.
Star Trek
a long time ago.
I see what. Okay,
yeah, it's not that Star Wars can happen. Star Wars did happen.
Yeah, Star Wars. We had swords, then we had guns, then we went back to rocks and sticks, and then we went to becoming a one planet system. No, when it comes to Star Wars and Star Trek, that battle, that feud between the two franchises, I love it when shows make the joke when they're talking about Star Wars and they say live long and prosper because they don't know the difference between the two franchises. That joke always hits hard for me.
Yeah, I don't even know if that rivalry is really that present anymore. I think it was more built up in like movies and shit.
The Star Wars fans are are divided now. It's not like the Star Trek fans. I don't think there's a lot of division in the Star Trek fandom anymore.
No, they just hate all the new shows, which they should.
They just want to live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. They just want to live long and prosper.
Yeah, now you got Star Wars fans, and then you got Disney Star Wars fans.
Yeah, and I think Disney Star Wars fans are very, very few and far between.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah, nobody likes them, but they're even ruining the OG Star Wars for me. It's like, if I go back and watch the Darth Maul, I have to remember that Darth Maul survives the Phantom Menace and then becomes a giant spider creature in Clone Wars, and then eventually gets 2 legitimate legs back after going on a journey, and then he ultimately dies, like, for a really stupid reason to promote Obi-Wan Kenobi's growth as a character. I was like, dude, you suck. What a waste. What a waste of time, Darth.
No one's ever really gone.
No. They just come back as a Force ghost. At the end of the day, I think this movie project, I think it could be, this is what Disney needs in order to re-energize the fandom that they are trying to get. Ultimately, we've seen this entire fandom show up for their the Acolyte. I mean, an Acolyte was an absolute disaster. Star Wars Outlaws isn't garnishing any love for the franchise, and they haven't really had a movie or a show or any project that's really done anything to boost Star Wars popularity.
No, Outlaws needs to sell another 4 million copies to break even.
I don't know that there's even 4 million people. I don't think there's even 1 million people.
Well, they only sold 1.
1 million?
Yeah,
they're not going to hit that. They're not going to hit it. They're a month into. Are they a month into their release? I think. Yeah,
something like that. It's been out now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he had promise with getting Stephen Wright as a writer on this project, because he did, Peaky Blinders, Taboo, good stuff.
Yes. Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders writer Stephen Knight. Ultimately, it's going to be. He would have been the guy who could have made this project successful. You're right. I
mean, still, no one cares about the premise of it.
Nobody cares about the premise of it. Yes, but every project Disney has, every new project Disney has, is the one they need to succeed, and they always drop the freaking ball every freaking time. And then you have everyone coming out and saying they're dropping the ball, and they just keep getting attacked for it. It's frustrating as hell. But the last movie that Star Wars has had in theaters was Solo?
No, Rise of Skywalker, 2019.
Okay, so Solo came out before Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So they haven't had a theatrical release of any project for 5 years. And this movie, now that Stephen Knight is no longer attached to the project, the movie won't even be ready by. So Baloney, Lucasfilms is now hunting for a new writer on New Jedi Order. Let me do boop. Lucasfilms is now hunting for a new writer on New Jedi Order, which almost certainly means the film will not be ready by December of 2026, the date Disney had staked for the Star Wars project. So 2026 is already like 2 years out. Now they're doing the writing. They're trying to find another writer for this project. This movie is going to die. This movie's going to die. Like, this movie's just a money pit at this point. You're not going to be able to make any profit on this just because of the amount of financial investment you have into the production.
Yeah, it's the same with all the other Star Wars projects that they announced, and it's like you never hear about them again. Like, we're gonna do this movie or this and this, and then years later, it's like, what happened to that? It's like, I don't know.
Do you guys, as Star Wars fans, actually get excited when you hear about
hell no.
these Star Wars? Like, that seems to be the vibe.
I used to. And I'll tell you when it ended. For me, I really enjoyed Rogue One. And I understand like the reluctance to it, because that was kind of the beginning of the end for Disney Star Wars, trying to basically ruin the franchise, doing everything they can to like just butcher it. So I really liked Rogue One, though. I thought the ending was good. I thought the way they tied it into New Hope was, I thought, pretty fair and reasonable. I thought they paid homage to the original trilogy in that way. I thought there was stupid things they did, like the blind Jedi, and they had to have some sort of disabled Jedi.
He's just a dude, wasn't he? He wasn't even a Jedi.
He wasn't a Jedi. He just understood the Force, was blind, and really good at fighting with a stick. So
man.
So there was things about Rogue One that I appreciated. It's been a while since I've watched it. But as soon as they came out with The Force Awakens, I watched The Force Awakens, and I tried so hard to understand what they were doing. And to me, it looked like they were carbon copying, ripping off A New Hope. They had a super-de-duper Death Star. They had a female orange Yoda. They had Rey going on a journey, finding Han Solo and having him be the mentor in the journey. her bypassing the compressor and deciding
the mentor dies at the end of
the mentor dies. I mean, ultimately, it was obvious that after watching it and reflecting on it, it became obvious what they were trying to do with Force Awakens. They were trying to rebuild the franchise from the ground up so that the younger audience who had never seen this movie from the 70s would have their reintroduction to the franchise and have similar things to talk about with their parents. When ultimately it just got more confusing. Which Death Star are you which of the 3 Death Stars are you talking about? Which of the 3 Death Stars are you talking about? Which of the 5 Yodas are you talking about? Which of the 6 R2D2s are you talking about? Like, it was stupid in the sense that they just kept cloning shit rather than inventing anything new from it. So The Force Awakens was the hard drop for me. I did not watch I've not watched The Last Jedi in its entirety. It was on TV so much. It was pushed so hard on, like, keep in mind, DirecTV was still super relevant at this point. So it was pushed so hard on TV. It was like on repeat all the time. And I was working in retail, and I just kept seeing images of it on screen and thinking, ugh, gross, not at all interested.
Oh, that's right. You were selling TVs at that point.
I was selling.
You had to watch it all the time.
Yeah, and everyone was licensing. Everyone was licensing them. Every major brand was licensing Star Wars so that they can show how cool their TV was with all these great scenes that no one was freaking watching.
Yeah.
Last Jedi bombed. Then you had the
no, it made money. All the Star Wars movies made money except for Han Solo.
Gross. I hate that. I hate that. But I accept it.
I accept it.
But. So that's what I mean when I said earlier is that this project is what Disney needs. It's like if Disney can make another movie on screen, they could.
Well, the next one's gonna be Mando and the Green Fucker. So
yeah, Mando, Baby Yoda,
yeah,
Baby Yogurt,
which nobody gives a shit about that anymore either. First season was good, and then the other 2 were just shit. So
for Mandalorian,
yeah.
Did you watch Mandalorian at all, Matt?
I don't think he likes.
I watched 2 episodes. Mandalorian was actually pretty dope.
You liked it?
First season was.
We got the Colton.
There's a second season.
We got the Colton joining the stream. 3. Good to have you here, buddy. Thanks for being here. We're just talking Star Wars. So yeah, I think the project itself. So we're probably, what are we gonna see? They're still gonna want it to be a Christmas release because that's when these types of
they do.
Is when what they want to do. If they can get a new writer, get everything moving, 2027 is probably the winter of 2027 is the first crack they're gonna have at putting this thing out. 3 years from now, holy shit, that's such a long ways out. I mean, and not having any movie in between now and then, except I suppose, like you said, yeah,
Mando, and there was another thing, but I don't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah, that's all that's coming to my mind for me. So it's but Stephen Knight being the guy who made Peaky Blinders, you said it right. He was the guy who probably could have made something, maybe not a great Star Wars film because Disney would have tied his hands so hard, and made him beg daddy for it. But Big Daddy. But this with him gone, and he's doing his own thing. So actually, so he told BBC, what is his quote here? So Knight told BBC, "I'm going to open a Digbeth Lock studio here where people can go and look at what we're doing, see pictures, decks, video of what's happening, so people in LA can experience what we're doing in Digbeth." So he's going to be opening a British studio in LA. I mean, people dig that. I mean, the biggest issue I have with like the BBC products that ever come out are their production quality. Their production value.
That's BBC though. There are other studios.
No, I know. I'm just saying that, like, if you look at like OG, like the BBC's Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch, even shows I like that were still underproduced. You have a different take?
I mean, it's not. I'd say like Sherlock isn't that underproduced. It's way better than what they were doing with Doctor Who in the mid-2000s.
I hate Doctor Who. That's one of my hot takes. I think that show sucks. I think
you really got to be in a mood to watch it.
Do I have to be high to enjoy it? Like, yeah. That's I do not like hard. That's my hot take.
You don't like timey-wimey stuff?
I don't. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just garbled, stupid nonsense. Even like what they do last year is like their Christmas production was such a canonical flop. Like it busted their canon so hard with a retelling of like who were like the main villains in that series. I obviously didn't watch it, but
there's many controversies around Doctor Who now, but
yeah, and it's all tied to like modern politics and stuff.
People are like, yeah, it ended with Peter Capaldi or Matt Smith, one of those two.
Yeah, like Matt Smith, I think he's fine.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've gone over Star Wars well and hard and long enough that we can actually move on to another topic. We're going to be discussing the Blade movie project. So we go from one failing movie project to another failed movie project.
Under the Disney umbrella.
So
how ironic.
The story for this actually released a couple of days ago, and it was a rumor then. But the rumor was that the rumor explained that Blade was removed from Marvel Studios' release schedule. And at that point, it really was just a rumor. But so Discussing Films put this out on Twitter that the Blade has been delayed indefinitely, and the film no longer has a release date. More than that, the release date has actually been filled by a different project. I knew this a few minutes ago, and I've already forgotten what it is, so might look into that. But Marshall Ali's Blade project is DOA. I don't think that, first off, making him PG-13 Blade was just a hard mistake.
Weren't they going to go for R?
I don't think they were. I think they were going to actually commit to making it a PG-13 one because they wanted Marshall Ali's Blade to exist in the Marvel franchise as a whole. The only projects that they've had where they've done rated R that are canonical in Marvel are Logan and Deadpool now.
Yeah, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the MCU so far.
Well, I mean, this is
It's still in the Fox universe.
Hey, he joined Disney and he told those Fox fuckers.
Yeah.
And he smashed the camera. We all saw it. We all were there. No, he's so
this movie's not going to get released. And definitely, I think it means it's kind of squashed. Marshall Ali's out. He's sick of him.
He should be. This project is 7 years old. This movie's been
2019.
No, the project. Well, I mean, keep in mind
it was announced in 2019.
Right, but keep in mind it was probably in discussions and everything for being talked about for years before that too. And that's
yeah. I'm not gonna
what you're not gonna what makes sense. And the point I'm saying
I'm
is
not gonna add 2 years to every project that's announced.
Fair enough, but this one was this one was in discussion for a while before that because I think it was in 2014. There was hope that Wesley Snipes' Blade would be rebooted back in 2014 because they wanted to bring Wesley Snipes back into the franchise, into the universe. But you actually had a similar.
Now they might.
Oh yeah, they could now. He actually, even if you just roll through the comments, one comment, you got Wesley Snipes is so beloved, and there's only one Blade. That's the truth of it, man. There really is only one Blade. And here's the thing, even Blade Trinity was plagued by production mishaps. So Blade 3 was like a production nightmare as well. So they had a difficult time with Trinity. There was still a lot to appreciate and like about Blade Trinity, but I don't think it's even close to being as loved as 2 or 1 of the original Blade trilogy.
No, that's
I agree with that.
Course.
Yeah,
3 was almost too fun. If that makes sense, to be Blade.
No, I agree entirely. I think Ryan, that actually was kind of one of the first major productions that Ryan Reynolds was involved in. I know he had been doing stuff before that, but it was definitely the biggest named. I think it was the biggest named movie he was in at that time. So, I mean, and Blade was so beloved for the first couple of movies, and it was really one of the first cracks at, this more gritty, dark, extra violent, like a take on a superhero franchise. So, I mean, Blade was absolutely amazing. I want to get your guys' take on the rank order of the first and second movie, though. Where do you guys play? Which one of those, the first or second movie, do you guys like more?
It goes 2 and then 1.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
I put number 1 at. You can't beat Frost, bro. Frost? 2 was a good.
Steven Dorff, man, you can't beat Steven Dorff.
You almost in the second one, you almost want to side with the bad guy, which is good. I like that. I like when you can see what the bad guy is trying to do, because he was just pushed aside his whole life, and he's a vampire, so that's a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, been around for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think Blade 2 is also my favorite as well. Now
I was
here's
gonna go back and rewatch them last night, but
well,
you
here's
have to like buy them or some shit.
well, and here's the thing. Deacon Frost was an amazing villain. I agree that Deacon Frost was the best of the villain sets. That's my position is that Frost was the best of the villain sets. In 2, some of the one of the fight scenes was super poorly done. It was when Blade was first fighting the carrier. I don't remember the guy's name. But they were in the church and they were on all these like scaffolds and stuff, and you could tell the wire work was just absolute shit. And they were just getting flown around in slow motion.
I really got to go back and rewatch.
You got to rewatch both of them, but I mean, both of them are amazing to watch. Now, Trinity had, I think, an amazing soundtrack. I think that was a huge part of what made Trinity actually good. The cast was better now that since you added in Ryan Reynolds, and I know the female actress who plays the supporting character, but I don't.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Jessica Biel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She had a great cast.
Oh yeah.
You had a great cast in 3, but
She's
it
great
just
in Stealth.
she was. That's another slept on movie. Stealth is amazing. I like that movie a lot. It's one of the like really good AI like being bad movies.
Yeah, that's fun as fuck movie.
Like, I mean, even iRobot, it's like in iRobot, when you're talking about AI taking over, it's like all of the robots are the equivalent of a very dangerous toaster, and then you have one AI that's actually a problem that can't move or do anything.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She just commands all the toasters to attack. It's
Release the toaster.
Release the toasters. Return to your homes. The toaster says so. Wesley Snipes returning to the Blade, or returning as Blade, would be would be huge. I would spend almost any amount. That would be a take my money like moment for me.
Everyone loved him in Deadpool, so
Yeah, I mean, one pitch that I got or that I heard was that I just reject outright is a Blade Gambit project, like just the two of them in one movie. I was like, no, and / why and / fuck you. It's like, don't do it. Like make if you want to make a new ensemble of amazing heroes, make a start from scratch Blade project with Wesley Snipes. Like, make his original story canon if you want to. Make a Deadpool, another Deadpool movie. Like, keep Deadpool going. Like, it's just I'm enjoying Deadpool, so don't stop while you have something good going, and you have the fans attention, and you have the fans' favor.
And you are the highest rated R grossing movie of all time again.
Yep. Twice in a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I don't know. Did the first one beat Passion? Passion of the Christ is the highest.
I thought so.
I don't remember.
No,
I know it's fucking close either way,
but the first Deadpool movie was amazing. It was culturally huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Huge.
It's huge. But do Blade, do Gambit. I could sleep on Elektra. I'm just like, I don't care about Elektra. That's so old. That's so dated that I'm like, and Daredevil didn't get a sequel. Elektra was the sequel.
Yeah, Elektra was the sequel.
And I don't know that was very good at all. I don't think
Ben Affleck was supposed to come in as Daredevil in that movie.
Ben Affleck as Murdoch was actually kind of cool. I liked Ben Affleck in it. I thought he did fine. I like the new guy as Daredevil better though.
Charlie Cox.
Thank you. You got the names down.
Yeah, Elektra was better in the show too, but
but yeah, I would like to see a Blade, a Gambit, a Deadpool. Start bringing in the other X-Men. Bring in Henry Cavill to replace Hugh Jackman. I don't think Hugh Jackman wants to do it anymore. Doesn't he? Like, every movie or project he's a part of with Logan, he always complains about the extreme working out he has to do to stay and get in shape. I'm like, dude, let the guy just move on. First off, there will only be one Logan, Hugh Jackman is just the one guy, but Henry Cavill is actually someone who I could also fall in love with as a Wolverine. You could find others too.
I like how he's just the fan pick for anything.
Well, that's because the fans actually like him because he actually cares about the source material he's a part of.
Nah, let him stay on his 40K project.
That sounds like the 40K project might be DOA too.
Who knows?
Amazon just does not want them to move forward with what they have. They really want the Warhammer universe to get reworked before they do anything with it.
Well, they don't care about their
lore accuracy.
No, they don't care about their the studio
Fans.
division, like the TV and movies
Yeah.
part of it. They don't give a shit. It's more like a vanity project. They don't need it. They have plenty of money without it.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time. So yeah, if I think a better place for Warhammer like a Warhammer project in general would probably be Max.
Yeah, Max does good
I
shit.
think Max would do a better job with it than Amazon would, and might be more open to a Switch. But you know, that's higher powers kind of thing, you know. But so to kind of wrap it back to the Blade discussion, yeah. So the Blade movie starring Marshall Ali is on an indefinite hold. The project has already the time slot for that project has already been filled, so there's not going to be. It's definitely not going to be in that year. The movie's already had, what is it, 5 reshoots?
No reshoots. This is all script stuff still.
Rewrites. Oh,
Yeah.
5 rewrites. New directors, new writers, new project heads. Like
Yeah.
everyone is
Had
coming
2
on.
directors and 6 writers.
Jesus Christ, that's so
Yeah.
much. Marshall Ali's the only Marshall Ali and Disney are the only 2 things that haven't changed. Maybe it's his fault. I'm just
I
saying.
think he keeps on saying no to the scripts too.
I mean,
Like the last one, who was supposed to be his daughter and like 3 other chicks in it.
yeah, it was gonna be
And
like
he was gonna pass the torch down to his daughter.
which is stupid. Why would you bring in a new Why would you bring in a new Blade just to have him hand off everything? Like you could, if you're gonna do something that insignificant with the story, you might as well bring in
It's-
Wesley Snipes for
That's
the
what
money.
they do, man.
We want the money.
There's a woman version of every hero now.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna do the female like youth Avengers, like the young Avengers.
Yeah, that was in the
But they're
talks too.
all
That's not
female?
gonna happen.
That's gross. I'm so over that shit.
Ironheart's been done for like 3-4 years now, and they still haven't released it.
Was that coming out this year?
No, I don't know when it is.
Okay,
There's no trailer or anything for it.
I should have pulled up the release schedule. That would have made sense.
That would have.
that would've
in
been smart.
hindsight.
All right. We got other stories to get into, including let's jump into another story here. Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Let's talk about Baldur's Gate 3. That's Lorien Studios versus Ubisoft. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have some fun with this. Matt, have you played so you've played Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yes, but I've started like 300,000 campaigns and have finished 0.
Same.
That's my that's my only problem with that game is that you start with a new character, you start from the beginning, and you just you can't make any meaningful progress if you want to redo your character or if you want to change anything. You can get through Act 1, maybe a good way into Act 2, and if you want to be done with your character, you just have to start over. I have not even seen Act 3 of this game outside of like clips and videos online. Have either of you guys
You can reclass.
Oh, and I mean, I know, but
That's what you're talking about.
yeah, but I always wind up making a new character instead. It just makes it in my mind. It had always made more sense to do that, even though I think I was wrong.
Yeah, you're probably wrong.
One way
Isn't that-
sounds
that's
way harder, but yeah.
Isn't there that like skeleton guy you find?
Yeah.
He just
Yeah,
becomes part of-
Withers.
Yeah, Withers.
He is a wither. All right, let's talk about the story. So, Baldur's Gate 3 developer blasts Ubisoft sales strategy. Quoting, if gamers should get used to not owning their games, then developers must get used to not having jobs. I love that. That's such a great take. Like, first off, I've always liked hard copy, and I understand why that's not going to be the case anymore going forward. I do think that there will still be a market for it, but I think that market's just going to get shut out of inconvenience for the studios and for the developers. So, there will always be people who want to give you money to own a physical version of their game. If you decide not to take it, that's a different story.
Yeah, not a whole lot of physical media around these days.
No, but
I mean, I'm part of the problem. I buy everything fucking digitally.
so
Absolutely.
So the guy who's talking about this is Michael Dose. He's the publishing director of publishing for Baldur's Gate 3, and its developer Lorien Studios. So basically when Prince of Persia, The Last Crown came out, it really, really underperformed. It did so bad. Ubisoft has already stepped away from the project. There's rumors that the developing team have already been disbanded and shut down. So
Yeah, I played a little bit of this.
was it
And-
free?
I think it was a demo version. I'm not sure. But I mean, it just played like a generic ass fucking side scroller. It's like, if you want to do Prince of Persia, you got to do like a full AAA release kind of thing.
And you know, not to segue, but one of my main like things I value, like what just happened with Black Ops 6, was that they really tried to reinvent stuff. They added sprinting backwards to the game.
Sprinting backwards?
Yeah, I didn't do it. It's not a mechanic I utilize very much.
Have you tried that in real life?
They have take hostage. Yes. Yeah, actually, like running backwards is something that actually you do in gym class.
Oh yeah. It's hard as fuck.
But then yeah, they had taking hostages in Black Ops 6. They have counterintelligence where you could basically be an operative of your opponent's team. You show up on their mini map and your title, your name icon is highlighted differently for them. So Call of Duty, like Treyarch actually tried to make progress with a franchise that's been around for 20 years. So that was cool. It doesn't seem to be the case that Ubisoft is really reinventing mechanics at all.
I don't know. It's every AAA now plays.
They're throwing
the same.
names. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just got IPs.
They add a new name, a new skin to everything, new projects, but none of them are really beloved. And then so basically, yeah. So once this project came out, Michael was just calling them out on basically everything they're doing sales strategy wise. You have they haven't really released a successful game in a while. He points to Far Cry 6 as their last successful game, and actually let's see if I can find his quote on that. Go down. Okay, so here we go. So Michael what's his name? Michael Dosch? Is that what I said it was? It's not on here.
It's Douse.
Douse, thank you. Michael Douse. The last notable game on their, let me zoom in for the audience. Make that visible. All right, the last notable game for on their platform was arguably Far Cry 6 in 2021. The Crew, Mirage, Avatar came in 2023, didn't perform, so you could assume subscriptions were at a lull when
Prince of Persia.
Thank you. Prince of Persia released 2024, which means people wouldn't be launching their store all too much. If it had released on Steam, not only would it have been a market success, but there would likely be a sequel because the team are so strong. It's such a broken strategy. The hardest thing is to make an 85 plus game. It is much easier to release one. It just shouldn't be done as it was. So Ubisoft made a good Prince of Persia game. So of course it disbanded the team shortly after release, says PC Gamer. So his reaction was to the PC Gamer article talking about that.
Yeah, the game wasn't hated or anything.
No, it's just people are tired of like subscription based games or like games as a service. I would probably never do that. Like get a game that's a subscription as a service. Like I don't.
Well, you're not big into MMOs, so.
I'm really not, but also I don't think anyone can really make a strong case to me that it's worth it. Like, you don't pay monthly, or like you don't pay monthly for like the MMO you like, which is Knights of the Old Republic. Like,
yeah, you do.
You pay monthly for a copy of that or to play that game.
Yeah, there's like
what happens
once you actually do that and like play for a month. I think if you go back to not paying for a subscription, you still have a lot of shit unlocked from when you were playing for it. So I don't think I'm paying for it right now, but.
Well, that would
be. Do you need that subscription to actually play it, or you?
No, there's a free.
Optionally.
Yeah, it's optionally. But if you want more shit, higher levels, more content,
okay, so
pay for it. But the base game is free.
It's a subscription variant of the Battle Pass system where you get loot, you get stuff for paying into it monthly, because the Battle Pass system updates every month too. And then you just pay it one time, basically. I think there are some games that do a subscription-based version of the Battle Pass, but I don't know what they would be.
People want that back in My Hero. I was reading about it on Reddit, and people were like, bring back like the pass, so like the premium where you get pay for it and you get more shit.
I wouldn't mind paying. So
I mean, it is completely optional.
Ultra Rumble is actually a game that I would pay money for. The problem with Ultra Rumble is that you can't use a lot of the characters that you would pay money to have. And the Battle Pass system moves really slow, rolling cards. Like, I've put 100 hours into that game now, and there's still a lot of characters I can't play as, which is frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's because you suck.
Fair enough. That's just honesty. And
do better.
All right, let me ask you guys in the audience, do you guys like honesty in your media? Do you guys like knowing that I am shit at My Hero Ultra Rumble, even though I'm not? So Cody,
I'd say you're bad at most things, but
fair enough. Matt, did you ever play? You didn't play Ultra Rumble. I actually asked you this the other day when we were in Discord, I think.
No, sir.
What I mean, do you play any MMOs? Like what MMOs are you on right now, or would you ever play?
None. But I've tried going into several of them. Like I tried the Amazon one. There's one that's like super similar to that one as well.
Is that a new world?
It's always the combat. Black Desert was probably the one I put the most time into because the combat was like, it didn't feel like MMO combat.
Yeah,
just
it's
click
pretty
this,
flashy.
click, click.
That's how WoW
Click.
is playing right now. Super boring.
Yeah, so boring. Like I need fluidity in my combat.
Yeah, I really liked like when it comes to combat in video games, I think the game that aced combat, like a perfect 10 out of 10 game for combat, is probably For Honor. I think the For Honor combat system is beautiful. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, it's just the characters can fucking piss you off.
There's definitely a meta because different characters do different things. But yeah, I still think the mechanic. If you had every character was fighting the exact same and it came down to pure skill,
That's what Chivalry 2 is.
right?
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I would probably equate Chivalry's
more
combat system more
Right.
to. Wouldn't you say that Chivalry's combat is more similar to Skyrim than it is to For Honor? There's no lock-on system in Chivalry 2, so like
Wow.
and Skyrim doesn't have a lock-on system.
No. I think on the entire spectrum of like, you went For Honor, we'll say, is on the left side of the spectrum, and
No, For Honor has to be on the
Skyrim
right.
on the
Sorry,
right side?
I'm hung up on this. For Honor has to be on the right because it's good. Sorry.
yeah. Anyway, there's the left and the right side of the spectrum, and then you went Chivalry 2, like right in the middle. Like, no, I don't think it's similar to Skyrim because you actually have like directional attacks and all sorts of different.
It's way more engaging than Skyrim's.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
Skyrim's left click.
Right. That one's boring
Left
as fuck too.
All right. Fair enough. I've only watched Chivalry 2 being played. I have not sat down and played it, so I defer to you guys on that front. But the way the mechanic operates seems like, from an outside perspective, it seems to be the case that it looks more like what would that Skyrim?
There is more skill to it than just swinging around and hoping you hit new
Right,
players.
but you mean you could get? I mean, you could you can master the mechanics, the combat mechanics of Skyrim too.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
You master them of For Honor. I would say it's closer to For Honor than Skyrim.
Yeah.
By far.
You
'Cause
think
you have
so?
a parry system that if you parry the wrong direction, you just die.
Or there's
You're dead.
there's certain timings to parries.
Oh, I guess that's true
like
too.
Parry attack. There's a
Right.
fluidity to it. Skyrim, you master it in the first hour of playing it.
Right.
Because it's all your mechanics right there.
Right. Okay, so fair enough. And this is my fault. I am the cause of this.
Ignorant piece of shit.
All right, so
Head out of your ass. It's not a hat.
so the direct quote from Deuce is, if the statement gamers should get used to not owning their games is true because of a specific release strategy, sub above sales, then the statement developers must get used to not having jobs if they make critically acclaimed games. Platform strategy above title sales is also true, and that just isn't sensible, even from a business perspective. So it's the you subscribe versus getting the sale. So the one-time sale of the product, you're gonna do better if you get the one-time sale of the product than you will if you get the monthly subscription variant of it. And then because if you sell on your platform, so Larian Studios, I believe, like Baldur's Gate 3 launches out of a Larian Studios like portal. So you download Baldur's Gate, you launch it from a Larian Studios portal. You can launch it out of Steam directly too. So, but I don't believe I think what he's saying is you can only launch these Ubisoft games out of the Ubisoft portal because you can't launch it from Steam.
I don't play a lot on
Steam?
PC, so
So that's my understanding of
it
what
comes
he's
out of my
basically breaking
PS5
down.
portal is what it does.
Right. So then sales all-time peak of 1,400, 24-hour peak 119. There's 70 players in this game right now. This chart looks like very similar because we've definitely seen it before with other Ubisoft products. I don't think Ubisoft is a dead studio. I think every mistake they're making is entirely avoidable.
Well, yeah.
They're close to dead.
Yeah. They probably know how to fix it. They just don't want to.
And that's a big problem. That's not great. You don't want to do that. All right.
I don't know. I kind of gave up on Ubisoft. I played majority of their games and franchises, and now I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
They're all copy and paste now.
Right.
Right.
I think Far Cry 3 ruined them.
Far Cry 3 was like
because it was
amazing.
really good, and then they were trying to recapture that magic ever since.
Well, they did, but the thing about Far Cry 3 that seemed to be the thing people loved was the villain and the story.
Yeah.
Like Far Cry 3's mechanics
Played
weren't
nice. You like the tropical theme? It was pretty good.
Yeah, the map exploration was the game loop was simple. It was find an outpost, fight. If you find a specific outpost, you're gonna fight differently, and you'll have a boss fight. The loop was simple. The fight
is basically find the bear, cheetah, or whatever it is, and release it on the camp.
just skin it alive. Yeah,
Throw the meat in there.
Yep, the Far Cry 3 was so much freaking fun. All right, we're gonna move on to another story here, so let's jump into it. From the Park Place, Halo composer Marty O'Donnell says if Elon Musk starts a video game studio, he will come out of retirement. That is okay. So that actually stems from a Twitter post or an X post that was Elon Musk was answering audience questions, and one of the audience questions was if you acknowledge that the quote unquote woke mind virus has ruined gaming, has ruined art in so many different varieties, would you consider taking up the fight and opening a game studio? We're gonna watch that video, and then we'll dial back to this Halo composer's story, because we have a quote from him that we'll cover as well. So we're gonna be pulling up this video. Make video games great. I'm sorry. The caption reads, "Make video games great again. The problem with the DEI and the woke mind virus is that it kills art. When you see something that's forcibly imposed on a game, it kills the art. It kicks you out of the story because you feel you're being lectured. Let me just enjoy my video games."
Did you just read the quote he's about to say in the video?
Shut up. Let's go.
I was wondering, with recent flops like
make video games great again.
Yeah, exactly. With recent flops like Conquered and Dustborn, games are prioritizing pronouns instead
That's
of actual
annoying.
gameplay. Yeah. So I was wondering, have you ever thought about making your own gaming studio and making an impact in the?
You know, if there's one thing I could say that would be a fun thing to do, it would be to start a gaming studio. I do actually intrinsically love video games. And I think actually if you apply sort of AI to video games, you could really make it to some make incredible video games. So yeah, I think just generally for content, you know, the problem with like the sort of DEI and the woke mind virus is that it kills the art. You know, it's just like as soon as when you can see something that is forcibly imposed on the story and it's discordant, destroys the art. And now it's hard to enjoy the story. It kicks you out of the story because you can just feel that you're being lectured.
And TV and all that kind of stuff. It's like, let me just enjoy my video games.
Exactly. I know. Come on, not video games too.
So a couple of things I want to cover on that front. Like, I agree. First off, the sentiment that that modern politics being inserted by the woke is in video games and is ruining them is evident by every single like failed video game that's ever come out. And you know, when you apply criticism to these video games, the people on the left always go to you like you don't even know what woke is. You can't even identify it. It's like, well, I can tell you that every video game we're talking about is a failed video game, and pattern recognition seems to be something you struggle with. So let me just tell you, your checkbook is empty.
You know that innate ability that all humans have called pattern recognition? You're locked the fuck out of that one.
They know they're reptiles, not humans.
Exactly. So it's a
Skin suit.
Lizard folk.
The lizards.
But yeah, no, Elon's not gonna make a game studio. He's too busy with other things. You know, if Trump gets elected, he's running that government efficiency program thing.
Yeah,
where he's keeping the government spending in check.
So
he'll be busy.
Yeah, exactly. He will absolutely be way too busy to create one. I think that a big reason we started third-party studios was we wanted to encourage people to create their own stories. I mean, we're working on our own projects.
Is that why we did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you did it because you just wanted to like talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
But I did it because I did it because I wanted to encourage people and build our own stories, like take over a lot of this failing infrastructure. Like we got the board game we're working on, we got the comic book, we got the trading card game, we've got the novel series, like we got all these different things in the works right now, and all of that is because I was sick of watching all these failed all these failing projects, and I wanted to try to create something better. That was the reason, that was the motivation for me. I wanted to try to create something better. But
Yeah. Well, when you're not getting it on the regular.
shut up.
I wasn't talking about that. I meant good
Shut the fuck up.
I meant good entertainment.
You're an asshole. But what I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this, Snipe?
On Elon Musk creating a gaming studio?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're under any delusion that he will, but I mean, would you co-sign that idea, or do you think we have, like, one thought I'm thinking, do we have the infrastructure already exists for other people to do it? They just are choosing not to. So, I mean, what is
I think you guys are attributing him doing a majority of the work in the companies that he owns, and that is not the case.
That's very
Nothing against him, but he could start a company and like never be there. Like, he would just have a set rules, and he would put other people in charge and be like, make sure these rules are followed, and if no one or if anyone doesn't follow them, they're gone. Replace them.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good take on it, because you're right. He doesn't do the day-to-day development of the software for Twitter. He's not on the assembly line building the Teslas. He's
not calculating, catching a fucking rocket.
No, exactly.
Yeah, he's not out there with a hammer building the rockets either. He's delegating. That's what he does.
He does a good job of it. I mean, he seems to have kind of a golden touch to a lot of stuff he does. I mean, I don't know the financial successes or fails of some of his of a lot of his projects, but not one of them seems to have shut down. So they're obviously not doing bad enough to bankruptcy or disband or break down. So I think you're right. I think he could do it. What do you think I think what we need in America, if we're going to have space exploration, is an actual resurgence of excitement around that idea. Like, it was really cool.
Catching the rocket was a big fucking deal.
That was
got a lot of people excited.
Now he could make a $5 mobile game called Catch the Rocket, and it's basically just you play Catch the Rocket. It's like, can you catch the rocket, and make them bigger or smaller for difficulty? I mean, yeah, you're right. He could open a studio, like bring in good staff, and actually your point is lended serious credit by even the title of the article that we're talking about. So Halo composer Marty O'Donnell would come out of retirement if Elon Musk opened a video game studio. So he's the creator of the Halo theme song. That's beautiful.
Which everyone has etched into their brain.
Yeah, you could make that a thumbnail. People know exactly what you're talking about. But his comments are actually, so he's quoted from his X account. So I retired from video games because I had to fight Microsoft, Bungie, and Sony. However, if anyone could coax me back in, it would be Elon Musk. He's not alone. A lot of prominent creators have left the industry or gone to work on their own thing as a result of being pushed out by these ideologues in these industries. So if Elon Musk just created a home for the best creators in these industries to just exist and create projects that they love, I think you're right. I think it would be an immediate success. And I think it's buy an LLC and set up some payroll stuff and get people and get some software for it and get people working.
Get a creative director and go to town.
Room.
Intimacy coordinator.
Just being in the room with all those, because it would be legends. It would be legends teaching up and coming legends.
Exactly. I mean,
like the content that would be in that room would be just nuts.
Well, and Elon Musk wants to create the phone. So so he'll have his own operating system on a brand new phone, and the operating system would be super friendly to all these mobile games he's creating or having created. Yeah, it'd be easy, cake butter. So
what?
That's right. That's my new catchphrase. That's my new catchphrase.
I just did not. That didn't register with me at all.
It broke
I have
your
no
brains.
fucking idea what you just.
The audience gets
He's
it.
called, or in both those posts, he's saying "call me" twice. Like he wants to do this.
He does, and honestly, he's the only one who's.
You get Marty to write the music. You get the guys from New Vegas to write a story.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay from whatever you want, really.
Yeah, I mean, what I would love to see is someone break the. I would love to see someone break the trademark hold, the copyright hold on the Nemesis system, and revamp it. And I would love to see someone revamp that entire system so that it could still be done and done different, but just done differently, so it doesn't interfere with the copyright of Warner Brothers. Well, actually, I don't think Warner Brothers isn't the Warner Brothers doesn't own the Nemesis system copyright. It's some smaller studio that was very, very small, irrelevant to the War of Mordor game or Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War games. But
it is Warner Bros. That owns it.
It is. I thought it was like some.
Yeah.
I thought it was some studio that detached themselves from the entire thing.
I always thought it was Warner.
Warner Bros. Entertainment owns the Nemesis system, which was created by Monolith Productions for the video games Middle Earth.
Okay, Monolith
So on and
was
so
the
forth, yeah.
Monolith was the entity I was thinking about. So okay, I got you. They created it.
They made
Warner
it,
Brothers owns
and then
it.
Warner Bros. Was like, "Nah, this is mine."
Right. We own you. We own the system.
Well, they're not making anything with it. They're not making anything with it, so they're just holding on to it for no benefit to the community or society.
Anybody.
Yeah. But if Marty O'Donnell is the one who champions the idea, well, first off, you don't necessarily need Elon Musk to do this. You just need capital. Because like you said, Elon Musk isn't going to be involved in the day-to-day of this whole thing. So why not just get some startup capital and just
Someone with his values, though.
True. I mean, you definitely have protection from Elon Musk would provide a level of legal protection that wouldn't exist in any other context. Like you definitely couldn't get the protection you need in this industry unless you had someone with $50 billion or sub $50 billion backing.
I want to hear a quick rundown of your Black Ops 6.
Sounds good. Yeah, we are going. Yeah,
'cause I don't know anything about it so far.
sounds good. So we are going a little bit over time. So we are going to move into our last topic of the day. We are going to be covering our basically we're going to be discussing our live stream from the other night and talking about giving our thoughts on Black Ops 6, the most recent Call of Duty product to come out. So, and that was actually a ton of fun.
Do we get to watch your shit gameplay though of you dying all the time?
It's the only thing I can pull up in real time that I know we won't get
Oh,
copyright
that's cool.
struck
I
for.
want to see how bad you are at it.
I'm bad. Really, really bad. So initial thoughts. Matt, you've played more than I have, so I'd like to know your thoughts going into the game. Like, were you unapologetically excited for it? Did you have any reservations? Were you hoping that it would be something any different? Like, what was your thoughts going into it? Is what I'd like
Kind
to
of
know.
all of the above. Because again, I don't want to support Activision because there's no reason Warzone shouldn't be the #1 battle royale out there. Like with all the money that they have, why are they doing what they do? Anyway, Black Ops has always been close to my heart as far as just nostalgia for one, gameplay for a second, and then I don't know, just playing with friends and whatnot. And Call of Duty is just something that I feel like a lot of people can connect with.
Yeah, Black Ops has been some of the better ones that they've come out with.
Yes, I agree entirely. I would make the case that the Black Ops is definitely the peak among the Call of Duty franchise. I think that you could make an argument for the OG Modern Warfare trilogy being better.
That would be mine, but I'm biased.
Yeah. Ultimately, it comes down to most Call of Duties mechanically play the same or very, very similar. And I mean, if you go and grab the oldest Call of Duty and compare it to the newest Call of Duty, I don't think that's not what I'm talking about. That would be pretty unfair comparison. But the concept, the mechanics, everything, how everything is meant to work are they follow a fundamental rule system of this is an arcade shooter, arcade first-person shooter. The mechanics are meant to be simple, and the guns are meant to do what they're supposed to do. I'm on the same vein. I'm in the same boat with you. I don't like supporting Activision. It's something I had to really come to peace with, because my hatred of Call of Duty made it so that I did not buy 2. I did not buy Modern Warfare 2. I did not buy Modern Warfare 3. I hate Call of Duty.
Yeah, you did.
I did not buy Modern Warfare. Come on.
It counts.
You're right. Okay, so my brother, for his birthday, asked me to play Modern Warfare 3 with him, so I did fork over a huge chunk of my retirement account to play Modern Warfare 3. But I had held off, and that was only like 3 weeks ago, so I had held off for most of its runtime without playing it. The main reason is because I think Call of Duty was very antagonistic towards their fan base, especially during the whole Black Lives Matter thing. They were very antagonistic towards the fandom. They were very like blaming the gamers for, just enjoying their game in general. They cracked down really hard on like voice chat or just normal chat. They forced you to have certain types of they forced you to sign a pledge supporting, I think it was Black Lives Matter during the Black Lives Matter thing. It was like, you commit to not racism to play this game or something like that.
God,
so
there were a few games that were doing that shit.
Yeah, they updated their terms of service and stuff. Ultimately, it was really just antagonistic towards the fandom, and it didn't need to be. So I had a lot of frustrations with Call of Duty. I stepped away from it for a long time.
Is it fun?
The game is incredibly fun.
Should I buy it today?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. This game will definitely...
It feels like classic Call of Duty with, like what Talk said earlier, just the improvements are actually improvements instead of...
Yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah, they actually went out of their way pretty far to make changes to this game to improve it and give us new mechanics and stuff. And I like it. They have score streaks rather than kill streaks, so you actually have ways to get to your stuff that isn't just like melt people. The time to kill is a little too short for me. I would like it a little bit longer, but that's mainly because I like to use melee classes, and that would benefit my playstyle significantly. But ultimately, I think the guns are very, very balanced. I think this is probably one of the most balanced out of the box games for Call of Duty that I've seen in a long time.
Does it have that bullshit like they were doing in the rebooted Modern Warfare, to where like to get an attachment for a gun, you had to use a completely different gun or something?
No,
like that?
That's another huge thing. The challenges for unlocking like skins or unlocking new guns are actually just based on how many kills you're getting, how many headshots you're getting, how many like are you getting long shots
stuff.
Yeah. But unlocking weapons is an entirely level-based thing. Like, if you get to this level, you unlock this gun. If you get to this, if you get this many levels with this weapon, you unlock its attachments accordingly. So using
There's one caveat to that, though.
Go ahead. Yeah.
With the unlocks through the optics, some of the optics to get others, you have to use different weapons. Other than that, all of your attachments are through the weapon that you're using.
Yeah, and so. And I mean, honestly, if that's the only compromise this game makes on that type of problem, I don't have an issue. I love the mobility. The mechanics are really smooth. It's very out of the box, ready to play, which has been a big issue with a lot of AAA and quadruple A games that have come out in the last year or two. So very ready to play. I like the platform. It's very simple.
All right, yeah, maybe I'll pick it up today.
A score out of 10, Matt, what would you give it?
Right now, probably 7.5.
I think that's fair. Like, so my score, I would probably give it a 7.5 as well. I think there's still things about maybe it could be an 8. And I'm having an issue with like just Activision in general. Still having my biases against Activision.
Mm-hmm.
I think sliding if you're with your melee class is still a problem because you slide past your opponent and you miss all the time. So maybe that's something I'll adapt to, but I think it's 7.5. It could be an arguable 8.
You're just hell bent on getting knife kills.
Well, I'm usually good at it.
Yes.
I've been good at it before in other games. But everything plays very much like all of your favorite things from Call of Duty are here. It's just all of your favorite things from Call of Duty are here. Some of your least favorite things from Call of Duty are also here, but it's 9-1 for like how many of what is good and how many of what is bad.
All right, cool. I'll buy it and download it and play it in 24 hours because of the fucking size of the game. I bet is insane.
It's not near as bad as like other games, but here's one thing that Activision also did that I kind of like. This was, I think, a clever move.
You pick and choose what to download.
Call of Duty,
Yeah.
you download Call of Duty, and it's one thing. It's one, you download Call of Duty as one platform, and then within that platform you have whichever Call of Duty games you have purchased, and you can launch all of them from that same platform. So you actually cut down on install quite a bit, because you cut down on install quite a bit. So it's still huge, but it's not 270 or 300 gigs anymore. I think this was closer to like 130. Still a lot,
Okay,
but
yeah, that's not horrible these days anyway.
no, it's not. So
Remember when games were fucking kilobytes? You had an 8 megabyte memory card.
yeah, or a floppy disk, the Oregon Trail.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, so we are going to wrap it up there. Just wanted to give you guys our thoughts on Black Ops 6. Go check out the live stream. It was a ton of fun. Want to shout out to Benjamin, who's been in the chat for a while. We've seen all your stuff, bud. We just have to keep on the podcast, so really appreciate you being here. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. It's free. It's the best way to support the channel. And we will catch you guys on the next live stream. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for our continuation of the Black Ops series. We will see you guys then. Go